The former CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch and two others have been arrested as part of a criminal sex trafficking investigation by the FBI. Mike Jeffries was accused in civil lawsuits filed in 2023.
So I didn't think that I'd be making another video about Abercrombie and Fitch, but if you're clicking on this video, then I'm sure you know what is going on right now with the ex-Abercrombie CEO, Mike Jeffries. I did do a video, it's almost like 2 years ago or over 2 years ago already, when the Abercrombie Netflix documentary came out, and it kind of exposed, how the company was. So if you haven't watched my last video about the A&F Netflix documentary and my experiences, just a very quick background. I used to greet for Abercrombie and Fitch and also Hollister. I was a lifeguard for Hollister because we used to wear red shorts, with a whistle. And then I was a greeter for Abercrombie and Fitch, and this was all in Hong Kong. Pretty sure if you have been to Hong Kong, you've probably seen this building, massive pedo building in the middle of Central. And I used to stand just inside the door, and we used to take photos of people with a pair of jeans on and shirtless. So many interesting experiences coming from being a greeter, looking back at how everything was when I was working there. Like I said, lots of good, lots of bad. So if you actually want to check out that video and my experiences working at Abercrombie and also Hollister as a greeter, I'm going to put the link in the description below, and also there is that little box on top where it comes out. So you can press that and watch it. Yeah, so I got a lot of comments on that video because it's been a while since it came out, and I was wondering why everyone's just started rewatching that video again and also commenting. And then I realized that this new case came out against the former CEO, Mike Jeffries. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, and also answering all those questions on my last video. So let's get into it. Firstly, about the case, I had a quick read about it today, and this person wrote it for BBC News and how this person's investigation actually led to the charges against the ex-Abercrombie boss. I spent 3 years investigating for BBC before the report was made, and he was arrested by FBI this week and charged with running an international sex trafficking and prostitution business, along with his British partner Matthew Smith, which I don't know who that is, and the middleman James Jacobson, who I also don't know who that is. And they had been at the center of a sophisticated global operation involving a network of recruiters and middlemen scouting young men for, So the rest of this is just talking about his appearance in court. So I used to also do modeling full time outside of Abercrombie, but it's more like, fashion, athletic. And so how this person's article came about is actually because he saw someone's post. This person was a male model. He was interviewed about how, in the industry, he had like the darkest experience. Obviously in the modeling scene as well, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes because, supposedly you're either fit or you're good looking, and then usually they're manipulated by people who are in power, who give you jobs and give you work and also tell you that, I can help you, become famous or get you in a lot of campaigns and stuff like that. So actually the industry, it can be pretty bad depending on how you approach it and how you deal with things like this. I can say that when I was in Hong Kong doing full-time modeling, I didn't really come across stuff like this, or even if I did, I kind of just deflected it as much as possible. Yeah, I didn't really have really bad experiences in the modeling scene in Hong Kong. And now the first person that was named in this case actually asked this model to do tryouts with him before meeting Mike Jeffries. At the time, he was the CEO of Abercrombie. This was all in 2011, which is around the time where Abercrombie was at its peak and just before I started working for them as well. So this person claimed that the duo had been throwing these events at their home in the Hamptons, and he actually did attend one of these that were hosted by the CEO. And the thing is with this whole case that's going on right now, as you know, Diddy is also going through something like this. And so I'm pretty sure, there's going to be a lot of people, even more people that are exposed, because this whole brand of Abercrombie and Fitch used to be sold off just sexuality So I feel like there's got to be a lot that's going to be coming to light on top of all the Diddy stuff as well. Both of these people are getting charged for sex trafficking and having these elaborate parties, that they're hosting as well. So it's going to be bad. Now, obviously, with these parties as well, a lot of them have had to sign like NDAs, and so they can't really come out and speak on these. So they probably had no one that they're allowed to talk to. And since then, I think some of them have actually had to obviously break the NDA because they have been suffering for a long time. And this person said that it had even led to him contracting HIV, and that was because of the Abercrombie CEO as well. Yeah, so I mean, this is a heavy article and topic to talk about and think about as well, because I have been in the company and also in this industry as well. If you want to read more about this article, I'll link some in the description below, because there's a lot of articles on this and basically a lot to read. And I'm not going to go over everything on this case. I'm not surprised with how the whole company was run and how they only are just scouting for good-looking guys and girls, and how they shoot their photo shoots, and also, the bags with the abs, and just how the whole entire company was run, and how all the stores were just like a club. I guess that just shows you the type of person that he is and what he feels like is going to sell, and also the way that he was able to manipulate people into working with him and thinking that they would have a higher chance of excelling in their career and get job opportunities and things like that. I'm sure he would have sold it like that. Yeah, a lot of manipulation going on. I'm going to go to my questions that people have been commenting, and there has been a lot of these. So just let me pull it up very quickly. So I try to reply to almost all my comments on my videos if I can, but sometimes there's just a lot and I don't get to it. So I would like to just kind of go through some of those today here from this video, especially from my last video when I'm reacting to the documentary on Netflix. So first one, this person said, I'd love to hear an update from you now with all the arrests happening. I guess this is the update video of how I'm feeling towards these arrests. This is just the start of this whole entire investigation. He's only just been arrested. There's just going to be more and more things coming to light. So whatever we can see and what we know right now is just the beginning of this whole entire case, and it's just going to unravel. It's going to be a big deal, I think, and there's probably going to be another documentary made about this in the future, I'm sure. When I said I'm not surprised in this earlier is because of, one, the way they recruit people. The managers go out, they have a quota, they need to find X amount of guys and girls every day to recruit, get their number, get them in, interview, and the better looking people will be greeters. After that is that the better looking people are obviously put on the outside so that other people can see, to attract them into the store. So the way that he kind of structured the whole company like this, he clearly has a fascination for either good looking people or young guys and young girls as well. I've heard stories in the past of him doing certain things while I was working there. I don't know if it was true or not while I was working there, so I didn't really think of much at the time. All I knew was that the managers would tell you that if he comes to visit the store, you need to be obviously on your best behavior, you need to look your best. The managers also get, props for making the store look good, in terms of having your best looking people out there, because you get credit for having a store full of good looking people. This guy said, actually this was a while ago, dude was working in HKCA 2012 to 13. Oh, this has really nothing to do with this video, but shopped at A&F, and honestly, I think we took a photo together with my girlfriend, now wife. Mental to see you out here posting, watching the documentary. What was your training split like and diet for the A&F days? I was just doing bro split basically. Just, oh, but the only thing I would say is that because I didn't actually eat much while I was working there at the time. One, no money, and two, because our breaks was so little that actually most people who started working at A&F, you would start losing gains while you started working there just because you have no breaks in between your shifts, and you'll be tired afterwards. So your training is probably like not as good as it was before you worked there. But at the time I was just doing bro split, nothing special, and I was just not eating enough actually. So that's probably why I was so lean as well. Not that healthy, to be honest. Oh, there's another one about training. Just let me say that as well. Is that someone asked me if I was on juice. And no, I am not, and I have not been on juice before. So just work hard and diet. Okay, this one is interesting story. A Kiwi takes Hong Kong. As I write this, Mike, his BF, and one other just arrested for sex trafficking. I lived in Hong Kong before A&F days for a year on company business, yet in the USA now and familiar with the rise and fall and rise again of A&F as it makes a return after COVID. Enjoyed your story and enjoy your life journey. Yeah, with the rise and fall and the rise again, it's funny how things work. I guess with the rise again is because they basically rebranded it to be something like Gap. And I think, I'm not sure about the pricing and everything. I'm sure they dropped it a little bit because it was not cheap. The stuff was not that affordable back then for Abercrombie, as I'm speaking in like Hong Kong terms. I don't know about like US and other countries, but it was not that like affordable, to be completely honest, and it was overpriced for, in my opinion. They definitely have done well now in changing their stores and actually people's intentions of wearing clothes in mind versus going into the store with like the overwhelming perfume smell that used to haunt the whole of Central and everyone who walked past the store. The darkness and like the party vibes, loud music, super cold inside. You literally couldn't see anything. But now they're actually appealing to the masses, and people actually enjoy wearing their jeans. From what I know, a lot of people actually, yeah, they actually buy their clothes and they like it. I personally have not. Definitely doing well now, the company, without Mike Jeffries as the CEO. Okay, let's just go to some more relevant questions. Okay. It would be great to listen to a follow-up video regarding the latest allegations against Jeffries and Co. that have come to light. Have you wondered that the non-frat policy was so that they could prevent people from discussing the more dodgy goings-on? Yes, after I read this comment, I was thinking like, you're actually right, because him and his, party probably wanted, these young, good-looking guys for themselves, and that they basically could have a pick of whoever they wanted, who they showed interest in, just because, like, you're the CEO, they're in power, and they're the one who's going to give you the opportunities. And because they made this whole entire kind of environment where, like, it's like high school, like the cool kids get to stand up front, and everyone who's not cool enough, you're like in the back. So that's kind of what they did. I always thought that this was a very weird thing, because I thought that if you had a good relationship with your managers and everything, you'd have a better working environment. But when I started working, I never understood why. I never thought about it either. Unless you're the GM or the regional manager, then they probably won't meet up with you outside of work. But if you're talking just about like a normal manager, like a store manager, it doesn't really matter. They'll still do it as long as you don't get caught, So people did it anyway. Now with all of this going on, then I am thinking about it again, and it kind of makes sense more now that they just wanted to keep everyone under their control, now that I think about it. And the next one here, did you get an offer or opportunity to meet up with Mike Jeffries or any of the managers at A&F? So I remember when there is a possibility that they get a notice that he might be visiting, that they have to get all the best looking people out there. And you know, I said in the last video that they have a rank board, at least for all the greeters. And so they get the top greeters out there on the shop floor for the day that he's supposed to arrive. You know, you're creating the environment that he wants, where you have the best looking people standing around greeting. Yeah, that's what I remember for when he had his store visits. Now, did I actually see him? I actually never saw him in Hong Kong. We did get a lot of like notice that he was supposed to visit, but in the end he didn't. And so I never actually, I've never actually seen him in real life and never met him. This person said, I'd like to know just how many guys were propositioned by ANF by these managers to meet up with Mike Jeffries, etc., and to decline the offer. That will be very interesting to know how many as well. I've heard many stories of the private jets, private planes that he flies a lot of these greeters around. I don't know if anyone from Hong Kong was asked to go on that before, but we did get notices about the people who were chosen or possibility to be chosen to go to other, like fly to other countries to open stores with the other greeters. Basically like create that hype, walk around shirtless, and I guess that is probably one of the opportunities that they were trying to create, where maybe if he went and visited these store openings that he would then go and manipulate these people. There have been times that I've been told that I might have the opportunity to go and open stores, and obviously at the time you're young, you don't know what's going on. That is a like fun opportunity. Why not fly me to Korea to open a store in Seoul, or like go to Shanghai and like stuff like that. So at the time it seemed like it was a very good opportunity, and you are prized by the company that you are the few people, or like the one or two people who are chosen to fly from Hong Kong. But definitely I feel like now that I think about it, that is definitely was a way for him to scout, for sure. Are any of the managers involved in this? I would not be surprised as the case unravels. I'm sure a lot of the top managers who are making a lot of money, probably like the regionals that see a lot of different stores, then they kind of like have an idea who is, you know, the best looking one, or like the ones that he has interest in. I don't know, and I don't know of any personally. They do have power. They have power to give you more shifts, meaning more money, and also photo shoot opportunities, you know, for the bags, for the cologne, for the billboards, for the in-store banners and stuff like that. So definitely a possibility. And then this person asked, how many of these parties were you invited to with the CEO? And I can tell you, 0. Yeah, and I also don't know anyone, at least from my store, that had been invited, outside of, you know, meeting a couple of the guys from like Germany and the other greeters that sometimes they'll fly over, and usually you will see the same people being flown around to open stores or like do events and stuff. Those are the people that more likely would be involved in something like this. Whether or not they're flying on his private jet, I'm not very sure. But given that they did get more opportunities, I would not be surprised why they would be given more opportunities and other people's less. And you can kind of do the math here. So, and again, this is just my opinion that there's a high possibility, but we will know very soon how many there are. Let me just see if there are any other. Okay, that's it. That's all I have in terms of questions. So just wrap this all up. If you want to hear my full experience working as a greeter for Abercrombie & Fitch, and after watching the documentary on Netflix, go check out my other video, link in the description. Like I said, I had some great experiences and some very bad experiences. If you have other questions, please comment it as well. I will answer as many as possible, and let's see how this case unravels. If I have any other things that I can remember, or I'm gonna have a quick chat with my friends who also work for Abercrombie as managers or as greeters, see what else that I can get more information for you guys. Yeah, other than that, I definitely feel for everybody who is affected by this, and finally some of them get to break their silence on everything that they have experienced. And so we shall see how this case evolves. And definitely it's going to be a big one with a lot of people involved. So we shall see. Thank you for watching, guys. And any more questions, just let me know. See you.